It's time for the insane, the honest, and the profane with your host, Brandon Combs.
Jed Hoyer has been a coward as a GM. Doesn't go out and he doesn't make the big splash signings. He doesn't spend the money in the right places. But then I don't let Craig Counsell off the hook because, yes, did he get put in a bad spot with this rotation by Jed Hoyer? Absolutely. But then you didn't put those guys that you did have in a position to succeed in the playoffs.
And Ryan Fitzgibbons.
I mean, if he's just as good as Justin Fields, it's probably the worst draft pick in the history of Bears football. It probably is. And one of the worst draft picks in the history of the NFL.
It's Combs and Fitz, Windy City Sports Talk, right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
And welcome to Combs and Fitz, Windy City Sports Talk. It's your boy, Brandon Combs, with my guy, Ryan Fitzgibbons. Fitzy, look, man, it's been a long time coming, but the Chicago Bears, baby,
woo!
NFC North Division champions.
How did this happen?
Thanks to the Baltimore Ravens beating the Green Bay Packers last night. Thanks to the Bears beating the Green Bay Packers in unbelievable fashion last week. Look, I 8 to 9 wins was what I thought. I thought they could fight for a wild card spot. Never did I believe that the ticket that I bought back in July for the Bears to win the division at 8-1 would actually come to fruition.
Cashing that shit.
What it did, along right next to my ticket for the Carolina Panthers to win the NFC South at 10-1. I like that.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I care.
I mean, about the Bears, I care. I mean,
Look,
how the hell did this happen? Combsy.
This
Hold
team,
me
man.
closer, Tony Danza. How the hell did this happen?
Hey, look, we've just got to enjoy the ride, man. We do. And that's the thing for Bears fans, right? Like, look, NFC North champions go into the playoffs, could clinch the 2 seed today, could be the 1 seed by the end of the night tonight if they win tonight in San Francisco, and if Seattle loses to Carolina today, could absolutely be the 1 seed this year.
Jeremiah.
So I had 7-win floor, 10-win season.
Did you have a 7-win floor when they went 0-2 and got blown out in Detroit? Did you have a 7-win floor then? Remember when I said, I think they were 1-2 at the time, and I said, is there any way they make the playoffs? And everyone laughed at me.
How about what?
Even though I had my doubts. Obviously, I had more doubts than just about anybody even commenting or on this show or who's been on this show in the Bears. But
do you remember what Caleb said after that loss to Detroit in his press conference?
It's a long season. Teams have come back from this before.
We've got 15 games left. There's a lot of teams that have gone on runs. This isn't over by any stretch. We're going to focus on this. And look, we as Bears fans, and me especially, after week 2, I talked about it, and like I've talked about 1,000 times on this show, is BTSD, right? Like that's what we were getting after week 2. It was like, oh God, here we go again. And I maintained I need to know. I need to wait until Thanksgiving. I'll tell you what I think of this team after Thanksgiving, because I think that it's a process and there's a lot of stuff to go through. And I think that they've gone through it. And I think they've shown throughout that process that this team, look, I don't care what anybody else is saying out there. I know people don't believe in the Broncos, who are the number 1 seed and who are 13-3. And people don't believe in the Broncos.
Good defense, too.
Yeah. And I look, there are people out there who aren't going to believe in any of these teams. But this year in this NFL, why not the Bears? We don't know what. Look, I don't expect that next year or the year after or anything like that this thing's just going to fall off a cliff and go downhill. But it could. The Bears could absolutely be the Washington Commanders next season. The Bears could absolutely fall off a cliff and not have a good season. They could deal with injury. You're a Caleb Williams injury away
Yeah,
from
look
being a
at
subpar team.
look at some of the. I mean, the offensive line's been great. It might be the best offensive line in the league. It's a run blocking offensive line. Go look at some of the rushes that he's avoiding. Put Tyson Bagent in there, and it's not going to look like Malik Willis last night. It's not going to look like Snoop Huntley last night. It's not going to look
be a
like
better
that.
quarterback than Jordan Love.
I mean,
it will, but I don't say better quarterback than Jordan, but better for this Green Bay offense right now.
Right
and I
now,
kind of think the same thing about Snoop Huntley in Baltimore right now over Lamar, because I think Lamar is playing injured with that hamstring. I don't think he's 100%.
No,
I think right now Snoop Huntley makes that offense look a little bit better too, but it also helps when you have Derrick Henry running for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Oh my God.
I mean, dude, you can run on the Packers. But that's what I'm saying when it comes to the Bears, right? Like this season, put them up against any team in the end. Go run through the order of playoff teams. The 1 seed, the Seattle Seahawks. Are they a team that you couldn't see the Bears beating?
No. A lot of tight games. Kind of similar
Bears
to the
have already dominated the Eagles. You look at the NFC South winner, whether it's Carolina or Tampa. I would take the Bears in that game too. The Rams, right? That would be a tough matchup. I could see a situation where the Bears beat the Rams, and then the Packers, we've already seen it. So there's not a team in these NFC playoffs that I couldn't see the Bears beating.
I will go a step further on the Eagles. The Bears showed a blueprint of how to beat that team. Where pretty much no other team was able to do it like the Bears did it.
What's going on, TJ? How we doing? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you. Doubting Thomas says 1 seed in play. Yes. Yeah. If you would have joined the show at the beginning, Doubting Thomas, we've already said that. They could be the 1 seed as late as tonight. If the Seahawks lose today in Carolina, which, look, I think Carolina's live in that game. I think Carolina, they know they could put away the division today. If Tampa Bay loses to Miami, which is a real possibility with the way the Buccaneers have been playing over the last 6 weeks or so, Carolina could put away that division. They're at home. They've already beat the Rams in Carolina. There's no reason why they couldn't beat Seattle in Carolina. I always love the East Coast teams when it's a noon kickoff and they're playing a West Coast team. Always love that. Which is why people are giving me a lot of grief, but I've been saying all week on the BetMGM network, I think the NFC West doesn't even have a team in the NFC title game this year. Even though they're going to have 3 teams in the playoffs, they're going to have 2 teams that have to go to the East Coast, are probably going to have to play early games. And then the 1 seed is a Sam Darnold-led team. And I never trust a Sam Darnold-led team.
Well, I mean, he's in his 2nd year. So, like, everybody could say, oh, he's just bad in the playoffs after 1 year. I mean, you could say John
in the playoffs.
You could say John Elway was bad in the Super Bowl after 12 years. And then he wins back-to-back Super Bowls and, all is well. You could say Dan Marino was bad in the playoffs. I mean, really, but he went to a lot of playoff games, never won the Super Bowl, but let's see how that career leads out. I mean, right now the Vikings are in the playoffs. The Vikings are probably a problem in the division if they have Sam Darnold. I think that's a big miss by the Vikings because JJ McCarthy's fighting for a job next year, just so everybody knows.
When Lamar's out, they actually do what they're supposed to do: hand the ball to that maniac and let him work. Look, that's what they've been. That's what crazy. I mean. Ravens fans have been yelling about that for weeks. Why aren't we handing the ball to Lamar?
I think he was benched for some reason. And the end of that, the previous game, I forgot who they
wasn't
played.
Benched. They just changed the game plan. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen because he was doing whatever he wanted in the first half, and then all of a sudden, John Harbaugh was like, "No, we're gonna see what we got with our backup running backs."
11 minutes. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. I didn't get it. Junior says Carolina's gonna be a really good team next year. I think they're a good team this year.
Bryce Young could stay healthy.
And TJ says Bears are scary with Dallas out of the playoffs. I'm rooting for the Bears.
Let's go,
so you've been
TJ.
rooting for the Bears for how many years now? Then, sorry, TJ. Unnecessary shot. My bad. But no, look, I don't think there's a team that this Bears team can't compete with. Not only just in the NFC, but in the AFC too. I mean, what team in the AFC would scare you? I mean, for me personally, I think it's the Texans. that defense is holy hell.
I'm always
Good.
going to go with the quarterback. Buffalo
Oh.
just is always going to scare me with that
Yeah,
big
but we've
son
seen
of a gun.
what Houston did to
Son of a
Buffalo a couple
bitch.
weeks ago with that defense. Houston
I
absolutely ate that offensive line alive.
I agree, but Josh Allen's pretty good. I
He
don't know
also
that
disappears a lot in
and the
January.
the only team in the NFC that you did not mention was the LA Rams.
No, I mentioned the Rams. I said it's a scary team, but there's not.
I learned long ago to ram it just right. You can ram it all day and ram it all night.
Ram it.
They
No,
might ram it. You're getting
But
into
see,
it.
would you be surprised though? Look, I don't know, outside of maybe the NFC South winner, that if you told me any of these 16 teams that are going to be in the playoffs on the Super Bowl, that I'd actually be shocked. Like, I'd be shocked if the Panthers or the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl if you told me that. But any
No,
of the
that's not gonna
other
happen.
15 teams, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, the Packers at this point. I mean, we talked about it last week. Really bad beat. Let's see how you come back against that. You give up 41 against the Ravens.
Yeah.
And their backup quarterback used to be their third string quarterback before he beat the Bears. And you give up 41 points to them. You don't look like anybody on that defense wanted to I'm Derrick Henry's great player, but no one looked like they wanted to get in his way last night. That's a team that might be giving up there. That would be a team I would think I just don't see them winning it.
Jeremiah says the difference for me is that we used to know when we played a good team, we would get dog walked. I don't feel that anymore. I agree. I think this Bears team, anytime this Bears team is close in the fourth quarter, I have faith that they're going to find a way to win the football game. And I don't know the last time that I said that. I really don't. I mean, even that 06 team that went to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, but you didn't, their defense was ridiculously good. That offense wasn't going to bring you back down in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. You had to rely on an interception or a fumble that would get returned for 6. Like, Rex Grossman in that team wasn't coming back and leading you downfield to win the game in the final 2 minutes. No. You look back, I mean, it's the first time I think that we've ever had a head coach. I know for a fact it's the first time we've ever had a quarterback, but I think it's the first time we've ever had a head coach and quarterback combo where you could believe in both of them to figure out a way to get the job done in the final 2 minutes. I mean, 6 victories while trailing after the final 2 minutes this season. That's incredible. And that's a team that's going to be a problem in January. That's a team that nobody wants to see in January at all.
No, and I think Caleb is the perfect quarterback to have in those situations. Still very young, still very nimble, can get out of the pocket. You are way too excited to bring that comment up. Take the sticker off your hat, Ryan. No, go away. I don't want to be in the playoffs at all. Well, you got to play the game. Out in the first round again, looks like, Julianne. That's what it's looking like to me.
Look, it's tough for the Packers, right? And right now, we just talked about it. She says, I'm excited for Malik to get money, but we're going to be held together by glue and a prayer at this point. I think a lot of people forget that without, and this is what bugs me the most about when Packers fans from this past week were talking about, oh, well, this guy was hurt and that guy was hurt and this happened and that happened. The Bears weren't fully healthy either. And Micah Parsons, without Micah Parsons last year, this was the 4th ranked defense without Micah Parsons last year. And then you added Micah Parsons to it. So it's not like just without Micah Parsons that this team is going to be bad. I think that they can get it together. I just don't trust Jordan Love if he's going to be the guy in the playoffs, if he comes back healthy from the concussion. I actually trust Malik more. I think Malik is a guy that right now is just a better quarterback for this offense. I think he gives you more dynamic especially with the way this offensive line plays, right? When this offensive line collapses, I think Malik Willis can get out into the open. I think Malik Willis can make guys miss. I think Malik Willis can shake a defender. You don't feel that about Jordan Love. Jordan Love relies a lot on the deep game. Jordan Love relies a lot on the deep ball. And that can be great at times, but it can also hurt you at times. And against some of these defenses, against the Rams defense, against the way the Bears were playing defense the other night, or last week, I should say, against the Packers, that game style wasn't going to work for you. And I think Malik Willis gives them a better opportunity to win. I think Malik Willis was fantastic last night. I think he did everything he could to keep the Packers in that game, but ultimately the defense was just getting run all over. But you could run it. That was a script going up against this defense, even when Micah Parsons was in the game. Was that you can run on
Bears.
Like we talked about that with the Bears. Like you could run on him, even if I was watching teams run at Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a fantastic pass rusher, but you could run on this defense, and that was the script ahead of the Micah Parsons injury. I still think that this Packers team, I wouldn't be shocked if you told me that they won the NFC, because I think that they can be that good. I think they're a team that if that switch flips, I think they're good. I do think that they have a really good head coach too. Yeah, I think LaFleur's a really good head coach, but I think the only team that you could tell me, like I said, would be an NFC South team. That's the only team that would shock me if you told me.
I just think with the Packers, it's getting a little stagnant. I don't see this team really progressing, and I'm alive, guys.
I just thought you were still mad at me because I made fun of Micah Parsons, even though I didn't really make fun of him. I didn't make fun of him. I said you don't want to see a guy like that get hurt. But I'm not upset about him not chasing down our quarterback and not chasing down Caleb, and like that part I wasn't going to miss. But Micah's fun to watch, man.
I know a lot of teams have injuries, probably the Packers at key positions more than most, but the Bears had no linebackers and all of their cornerbacks out in a game, and they won a game. Like, you still have to try to. I also don't have the sticker off my hats left. Thanks, Junior. I let them fall off. There you go.
Johnny Torres chimes in. Fuck the Packers. Agree. FTP. Always.
Good to see your name,
FTP.
Johnny. Hope you had a good Christmas, buddy.
And well, he's actually not. It's been a while, Johnny. But Fitz is he's on the wagon, sir.
Yeah,
he is on the wagon.
Firmly
he's
ensconced on the wagon.
A little over a year clean, right?
Yeah, 16 months coming up.
Yeah, fantastic. This is just his thing for when the Bears win. When the Bears do something good, he comes on the show with a hat and sunglasses, so he keeps it up.
Bad case of pink eye.
It could be. That's probably a little bit more possible. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
A little bit more possible. Let's talk about, let me ask you something. If the Jaguars win the AFC South, which is close, the Patriots win the AFC East, which is also close to happening, the Bears, who have already won the NFC North, and the Seahawks, if they hang on to the number 1 seed and win the NFC West, who's your coach of the year? Is it Mike McDonald? Is it Liam Cohen? Is it Mike Vrabel? Or is it Ben Johnson? And I'll tell you what I think after. But I want to know what your thoughts are. Who would you give coach of the year to?
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. But there is really some logic behind my answer. Like I
don't really want to. I just think the biggest culture shift in my mind, if you want to talk about culture, which is sort of an intangible, it's sort of nebulous, like nobody knows exactly how it's going to fix anything really with what happens on the field. I don't know how you could see a bigger culture shift than what is happening with the Bears in this league.
Yeah.
I just don't think so. The Patriots already had a pretty good culture up there. I mean, I know Belichick's gone, Brady's gone, but they got a pretty good ownership, pretty good organization there. You have a feeling and a confidence that the Patriots are going in the right direction, whatever direction they go in. They were kind of lost in the wilderness for a little while, but they're back now, which happens to a lot of good organizations. I mean, Seahawks almost the same thing. I mean, they're almost an institution up there. They had some lean years after Pete Carroll left, but even in the end of Pete Carroll, they were still competitive. This Bears team was losing 10 games in a row almost every damn season. This Bears team could not develop a quarterback. And you could say whatever you want about Caleb Williams and what timeline he's in, how good he is. You could not say that Caleb Williams hasn't gotten better this season. You could not say that the Bears culture hasn't completely shifted towards optimism in some weird way. And to turn that battleship usually takes a lot longer. What they were able to do to this offensive line, what his play calling is able to do to get people open. There's not a lot of jump balls on this team. Like I heard a lot of people say on that last play last Saturday, that, oh yeah, they won on a Hail Mary. That was not a Hail Mary. That was a great design play at the perfect time of the game in overtime. Dude waited all game for that to call that play. Was probably saving it for another game because no one knew they were going to make it into overtime. And if Ben's being honest, he probably thought, their chances were very slim going into that onside.
And he burnt the guy that gave him a cheap shot earlier in the game.
Yeah, and then gives DJ some confidence too. Yeah. He is, Ben Johnson has a flair for the dramatic. He knows what he's doing and how to motivate these guys. Like I just don't know how you don't give it to Ben Johnson.
Look, I agree with Michael McCormick, who says Cohen or Johnson. What's going on, Mike, by the way? I'm in that same boat, and here's why. Liam Cohen has turned Trevor Lawrence into what people thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be coming out of college, which you know me. I have not been a Trevor Lawrence guy. I'm still not a Trevor Lawrence guy. But Liam Cohen, I got to give him credit, man. He's done a wonderful job in a division that this team wasn't supposed to win. It was supposed to be the Texans division. The Colts came out of nowhere at the beginning of the season, and then they fell off. But this was supposed to be the Texans division, and now all of a sudden, if they win this division, I think that job that Cohen has done, especially with what he's done and how he has elevated, Trevor Lawrence to where he's at. Yeah, I think that he's in the consideration. I think Vrabel's out because, look, before the season started, a lot of people were picking the Patriots to win the AFC East. They were a team that were a lot of people's darling to challenge the Bills for the AFC East. So Vrabel's done a great job there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to poo-poo what he's done with the New England Patriots, but the pieces were there, and he took a team who sure was 4-13 in back-to-back seasons, but he brought them up to what a lot of people thought they would be. And then you look over at Mike McDonald over in Seattle. He's done a great job as well. But, that team also was supposed to do well in the NFC West. So that's why, for me, I think it's also down to either Liam Cohen or Ben Johnson. I think those would be your two finalists. I myself, obviously, but people are going to think it's just a homer pick. I would give it to Ben Johnson because of the culture shift, because of how much he's changed. For how long now has the culture in the locker room, probably since 2011, when the Bears fired Lovie Smith for no explanation whatsoever, until now, it's been a losing culture in this locker room. Yeah. It's been a losing culture in this organization. We saw how much of a dumpster fire this was with Matt Eberflus and Matt Nagy.
You got the defensive coordinator getting fired 4 games into the season. The running backs coach is sending dick pics out or whatever the hell he was doing.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I too would give it to Ben Johnson, but I would understand the argument for Liam Cohen. Plus Ben Johnson looks better with his shirt off. I don't know if you guys saw, but that's why I posted the NFC Champs photo that I did on our page, because it's got Ben Johnson with his shirt off looking like the Incredible freaking Hulk. Jesus Christ, that guy is shredded.
Unbelievable.
Jonathan Torres says this is Chicago. I love it. And Jeremiah Murray says it's Cohen or Brent for me.
Both have their QBs ascending because of their offenses. Yeah, the difference there is Trevor Lawrence has been in the league for a while. Is this his 5th year? Yeah, 5th year. His numbers are pretty much the same as Caleb. He's got 3 more touchdowns and 5 more interceptions. So
yeah,
I take Caleb over him. He only has a 60% completion percentage right now. Caleb, yes, a shade better, less at 57, which is pretty bad. But I don't know. I mean, Caleb's after last year and the 68 sacks and everything that's happened with the Bears, it's hard for me to say that Ben loses this. I think Ben wins just on that culture shift.
I say he's shredded, and my wife chimes in with, "Dang, let me go look."
Well, you know,
hey, look, if I'm going to lose to anybody, it might as well be Ben Johnson.
There you go.
I actually, you know what? If Ben Johnson wants to, he can bed my wife.
Marriage
Just
number
saying.
3.
Just saying.
Marriage number
Just
3.
hey, look, I wouldn't even divorce her for that. I'd be like, my wife paying Ben Johnson. What's your
You're just
wife
watching her
today? Yeah.
You're just
No, I
in the
wouldn't.
corner
No,
watching.
no, I'm not into that. Not into that. But Jonathan Torres says, "Give it to Ben Johnson. He looks better without a shirt than me." Yeah, he looks better than without a shirt than a lot of people, especially me, and probably you too. Jeremiah Meyer says Combs will be filing for alimony. Maybe. I mean, she'd be rich. She would be rich. Combs versus Ben Johnson again. See, I think I could take him there. I don't know how his bag game is, but I think I could take him there. In a while though, Johnny. I haven't thrown bags in a while.
Me neither. Me neither, Johnny. We got to get out there.
As long as Dad gets lifelong season tickets in the booth. Look, you give me season tickets, you can pretty much bed my wife anytime you want it. But anyway.
What?
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
Enough of that. All right. So, look, we were going to start talking about the White Sox.
Let's not.
In Murakami and the fat Shohei who they signed. Good deal. 2 years,
Yeah.
20 mil.
I mean, 2 years, 17 mil, but round it up to 20, whatever.
Yeah. You're not even paying him what you're paying.
You can't lose on this
Robert.
deal. He's a left-handed bat. You're not even playing what you're paying for Luis Robert, who's barely playing himself, who looks like he's going to be traded. I mean, people always want a center fielder who can maybe hit you 20 dingers. I think he's going to be gone. This guy could be a third baseman, depending on who's playing a better third baseman, him or Miguel Vargas. Definitely fills in that first base spot. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Kyle Teal in that situation. I think he ends up at third base, and maybe they're out on Miguel Vargas, or one of them maybe fills in the outfield. I don't know, because they need outfielders. I think it's a good pickup. I don't think how you could go wrong here. It's only 2 years. I mean, a lot of people were saying he was going to get 4 or 5 years, 80 million. It's great that they were able to climb under the radar with this one. I mean, I don't know. I cannot believe how good that I'm going to say another nice thing about Chris Getz, but he keeps on surprising me. And eventually I'm going to have to say he's pretty good, which is hard to say now, but for them to be in the second round of the rebuild firmly now with this pickup, they're firmly in the second round of the rebuild now. It's exciting. I would have never thought they would have gotten here this fast. And I don't think you thought that either.
No, for sure. Jeremiah Murray says, when do we unveil the sponsored Blue Murakami home run deck?
I love it. Call Brooks Boyer, Jeremiah. Talk about another job.
There you go. To work for the White Sox in there.
I think it's going to be an interesting team. I mean, up and down.
Yeah.
You might have Braden McCarthy, the other McCarthy coming up. All the young guys they already have, like Kyle Teal and Colson Montgomery playing another year. Let's see how they play. Even Bonnemer. Caleb Bonnemer, who's in now just A+ might come up this year. He's only 20, but they're talking about this guy like he's going to be a great outfield prospect. Noah Schultz, all the guys that might come up this year too, and the team that's already on the field. I think it's going to be an interesting year.
They're going to be a fun team to watch. They're going to be a team on the rise. They're a young team. And they're making moves in the right directions. Like I like the things that they are doing within the organization. I like some of the moves that they're making, and they're starting to show that they're capable of spending a little bit of money, which is something that the team on the north side just isn't doing right now. I mean, hey, they did go out and get Hunter Harvey.
Played 10 innings last year.
I think
Major League
his
Baseball.
Batman's nemesis in his next movie, Hunter Harvey.
Making chocolate bars. Chocolate bar.
I think that there's a world, and you and I were talking about this before the show. I think there's a world where the White Sox might be better than the Cubs this year.
I don't think so. I just don't think the Sox have the arms to cover the innings, or might not even have the offense. But Fitz would be a perfect human being if he wasn't a Sox fan.
Yeah,
true story. I'll take that as a compliment, Johnny.
Here's why I think that the Sox could be better than the Cubs is because of the way that the Cubs are going about their lineup, and the fact that replacing Kyle Tucker's offense is going to be on the head of Owen Casey. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like the way that they're going about this. I think this could be one of those years where they're down. We talked about this too before the show, is that I think that there's a lot of these organizations that just aren't spending money because
not long
it's
term.
going to be a long strike after this season. I think we might miss the entire 2027 season because of the labor dispute and because of the fact that the owners are going to want a salary cap and the players are going to fight tooth and nail against it. And I think we end up missing a full season of baseball. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope to hell I'm wrong because I love the game. Like, a summer without baseball to me is I mean, dude, what the hell am I
literally wanted people to die of COVID just for baseball 5 years ago, just to put myself on the record. Anyway, I was healthy, I think. I really wasn't that healthy. But anyway, I said it. Let's cut it up for after the show. But anyway, I mean, it's Christmas is over, but okay. All right. Now we gotta, all right. Let's not talk about sports. It's before New Year's Eve. Once New Year's Eve and New Year's Day is over, then you take the Christmas stuff down, Brandon Combs Jr. I know they do things a little different on the East Coast, or Patriots fans, all have CTE in a small way, but we keep our decorations up until after New Year's Day in the Midwest, dude. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
My tree's still up too.
Anyway, I forgot the name of the guy we had on a couple weeks ago. We talked to him about this. Where baseball is now, and there's never a good time for a sport to have a strike. Where Cowell. They are now. This is Blake Cowell. Shout out to Blake Cowell, wherever you are. We had him on, and just with where regional sports networks are with baseball right now, and just where they are from a media perspective, this is probably one of the worst times you could possibly have a strike, if they have a strike in 27. It's going to be bad, and it's not getting better with regional sports networks. It's getting worse, and we've talked about this a lot on the show. It's really interesting because there's a lot going on there, but it's actually regional networks that with so many games that have to call these games. They're just not making the money they used to make, or Xfinity and Comcast don't want to hold it anymore. They're a big cable provider, especially in the Midwest. Like, there's a lot of things going on in baseball right now, and I don't think anybody thinks we have the commissioner right now that in Manfred that can take this game through the baseball strike. I don't think Rob Manfred hates baseball in my mind.
John Torres says, went to Game 5 World Series. Dodgers fans are freaking lame. Security took my vape. Junior says, Jonathan Torres, I would have thrown hands with security. Junior, no, you wouldn't have. You would have given him your vape and you would have walked into the scene. Don't lie.
Jonathan Torres, still a great old West. Like, he still has I've told this before. He has a name that would be a great bad guy in a Western. Johnny Torres. What are you doing here? Get out of my town.
Michael McCormick says, do either the Bears or 49ers relax tonight? I don't think either one of them do. The 49ers are probably going to be without Kittle. But both of these teams still have something to play for, especially if the Seahawks lose today. The Bears will be playing for the number 1 spot, and then the Niners still have an outside shot. If the Seahawks lose out and they win out, the Niners still have a shot at the NFC West crown. So I don't think either team takes a night off.
I just think it's very hard in the football to take a whole lot of plays off. You might have some players making business
Well, you could
decisions,
rest your
but I doubt
starters,
that.
right? Like, because there was a world where I thought until the number 1 seed became, a thing, I thought that there would be a world where the Bears could sit starters at halftime tonight and then go full bore against Detroit because Ben Johnson's going to want to beat the hell out of Detroit. But one, that's not Ben Johnson's style, and two, the number 1 seed in the NFC is on the line, and to make teams have to come to Chicago, make a team like this, the Los Angeles Rams, like the Seattle Seahawks, like the San Francisco 49ers, have to come to Chicago and deal with the cold and the bitter wind in Chicago in a playoff game. You have to go out and you have to try to get the number 1 seed because it's just too much of a home field advantage to not do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, this is coming from a guy who played basketball in Doubting Thomas's parents' old house at a nothing game that meant nothing. And I played basketball until I puked in his parents' backyard. I wasn't in great shape at the time. But if I could do that, if I could do that, it's like 20 years ago. If I could do that, yeah, I'm in my 20s.
So there was definitely alcohol
because I couldn't take it. Wow, there was
maybe some light drugs.
I was drunk, and I'm sure there was some light drugs or heavy drugs. What the hell going on there? I don't remember. But if I'm going to do that, and I'm not a pro athlete. By the way, I don't even know if I have to say that on the show. I don't know if I have to say that on the show. I am not a pro athlete. You put a pro athlete in a football situation, it's kind of hard to say that they're going to take a day. You take one playoff. I mean, look at DJ Moore doesn't pay attention for 1 second on a play and almost gets hurt in that Packers game last Saturday. You can't take days off in this game until they change it to flag football. I remember that Fitz got lit up by my 12-year-old name. No, I didn't. On the you court, got lit up probably by me on the court.
Ben Johnson versus Fitz shirt off contest. Who takes it?
I take it.
Ben Johnson for sure.
I take it.
Ben Johnson for sure. Yeah. You've never look. We've been doing this podcast for 3 years now. Little over 3 years, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
You've never ever once made me want to run through a wall. Maybe you've made me want to put you through a wall, but you've never made me want to run through a wall. Ben Johnson does that every week.
And you've made me want to burn your house to the ground. When Michelle's out of the house, and Aubrey and your mother-in-law, when they're all gone and it's just you in the house, I wouldn't mind burning it down around you. So
that's
a lot of love in the air. Happy holidays. Happy holidays from Windy City Sports Talk to you and yours. Well, happy holidays.
I die in a fire ever. We have this on tape on the internet, which, never lies and never goes away.
No, it never does it?
It'll be there. The internet's never been wrong. Speaking of never being wrong, are you ready?
Yes! Tribe's conspiracy theory and it's an island in unapologetic and sometimes inaccurate sports talk. What did we get wrong? I don't know anything.
Everything you said?
Probably everything I said. Maybe puking in Doubting Thomas's backyard was probably wrong. Yes, it's the last Fitz gibberish of the year. And I thought it was time to break out an old Fitz gibberish, not an old Fitz gibberish, but
I was excited when you said the last Fitz gibberish, and then you said of the year.
You're an asshole. Yes, of course, it's the NFL is basketball without traveling. Volume 4. Although no one remembers the other 3 volumes, so it could be volume 1. But I digress. As a wise Twitter or X troll once said, the dildo of consequences rarely arrives lubricated. Yeah, I said it. And yesterday,
Jesus.
And yesterday, Jim Harbaugh, who lived mostly a charmed football life, got his served raw with a good deal of friction. He had a great run at Stanford that went naturally into a Super Bowl run with the 49ers, went back to college to win a natty championship, only to jump ship to avoid a scandal to the Chargers. He got a soft landing in LA, but things are starting to become a little stagnant with the Chargers, and the football gods were not with him. Yesterday, Saturday, the 27th of December. I want to focus on 2 plays and talk a little bit about the NFL here. 2 plays. One is a roughing the passer penalty that happened early in the 4th quarter. And I'll let the broadcast play this out a little bit.
Stroud, as he's hit, almost connects with Noel. There is a flag out back where Stroud was hit. And they're saying he was roughed.
Automatic first down.
Oh, my.
Wow. Deion Henley coming right from the middle of your screen on the pressure. Got a free hitter right at C.J. Stroud. Looks like a good football hit. Ends up landing on him with his body.
Now,
So
I show that as Exhibit A of needing to have a review or of some kind of challenge to some of these penalties in the NFL. And even if you're landing on a guy, if you're not doing it on purpose, there should be some way they should be able to mitigate that.
how do you tackle a guy without landing on him?
Yes, that.
And if you do, it's called a hip drop tackles, and that's a penalty now too.
Yeah, exactly. I'll show exactly how you do that in a second. But there was an illegal contact penalty that also changed the game later on in the 4th quarter with a little over 2 minutes to go.
Stroud is throwing. Stroud is running. Stroud is sacked with a flag down in the secondary. Oh my, what is it?
Illegal contact. Defense, number 29. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Goodness. Tar heaves still. Called for illegal contact.
You're going to watch it at the top of your screen. Hutchinson here, and he just kind of stops his feet.
Oh,
and there's the contact. A lot of DBs might be saying, hey, that was the offense that initiated.
Yes. How do you avoid the guy on that play? There is only one way you avoid a guy on that play. Yes, you have to do some matrix shit to avoid the guy on that play. And you could see Jim Harbaugh's stunned face. Wait a second. That's not Jim Harbaugh. That's Jimmy Conway and his surprise face when Henry Hill turned state evidence on him in Goodfellas. Here's Jim Harbaugh. Wait a second. He looks a little bit like Jimmy Conway from Goodfellas. Here's another surprise face. Yes, we also have Pete Carroll. He's turning a little bit into Pete Carroll. He also went to the NFL after a scandal in college. Anyway, my stunned face. Anyway, look, NFL. Defenders cannot violate the laws of inertia. We here at Windy City Sport Talk are Bears fans, and that automatically makes us fans of defensive football. You are purging the league of good defense, and the end result does not look good. The NFL is basketball with traveling is just a joke. So is a raw dildo. But one day, the absurd might become true, like watching the league slowly turn into flag football, or like watching Keanu Reeves act well. That's Fitz gibberish, Combs.
Brandon Combs Jr. says, "Oh my God, put the hat and glasses back on." Look, normally I would say when you say "we" at Windy City Sports Talk, especially during a Fitz gibberish, that I would like you to just say Ryan Fitz. But in this aspect, I agree with you. Look, the NFL officiating is atrocious now. The NFL and what they're doing and the lack of discipline for the NFL officials, the fact that you can't like even replay assist, even if it's not challengeable. How about replay assist, which you use for everything else? How about replay assist helps you with some stuff? Like, hey, come on. There was no illegal contact there. That was the offensive player. He caused the contact. He initiated the contact. It was a sack anyway. He was never getting the ball off. Let's pick up this flag, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what's got to happen. And
Johnny Torres, how do you fall off a boat and not touch water? The NFL is going soft. I agree.
It's just so bad. I mean, it's the officiating in that game cost the charge. Well, all right,
and it's not even fun.
That game cost the Chargers a chance to come back, but it didn't cost them the game. Their kicker did that. But
if they get the ball back after with 2 minutes to go,
don't miss an extra point in a field goal, chip shot field goal, and it's a tie game.
Yeah, true. You
know what I mean?
It's a Pro Bowl kicker there, but
also
it
cost them a chance to come back. It cost them
or
a
at
chance
least watch that as a
at
fan. At least be able to watch them try to come back would have been fun. You've taken all of that away with an illegal contact call, which live is insane.
Jules says it's weird to not only understand but agree with. It's gibberish. It is kind of weird. Not gonna lie. Finally did it though, Fitz.
I think it
only took 3 years, but you finally did it.
I think the understand hurts me more than the agree part. I don't care if you agree with it. If you don't understand it, it kind of hurts.
Most Fitz gibberishes are hard to understand. I mean, they just are. There's been a lot of things that have happened in Fitz gibberishes. They're kind of hard to understand.
You're going to talk about the black penis now, aren't you?
It's the same penalty. I wasn't going to talk about anything. It's the same penalty the Bears got last week. I agree. I mean, it's tough, but it doesn't make it any better. The contact on that play was underneath the defender, not the guy running over it. It's still a situation. You hold on to the flag. Yeah, the guy underneath, he puts his hands on the shoulder pads, and when the guy goes to turn, he lets him go. I still don't think that was
underneath. Really wasn't that in between 5 yards?
No. It wasn't in between 5 yards. It's because he kind of did hold him, but that's not what they called. They didn't call offensive hold. They called illegal contact, which either way, it was a bad call, and you should swallow the flag in that. I agree. Create Culture says if there is such a scandal with basketball, how could there not be corruption?
About the bet. We talked about the scandal in basketball. I mean, when you have all these rules, it's kind of like all the laws in America. You can get somebody on any law you want to in America right now. There's a great book about how Americans might commit one felony a day and not even know they're committing it. Like, you have all these rules in football. You can show almost on any play that someone's breaking some kind of penalty because there's so many damn penalties.
With all the players getting caught with the betting stuff, do you not think that refs who most of which we don't even know that we don't know the names of, we don't know the even what they look like, you think there's no chance that they don't have somebody betting on games for them at a much smaller dollar amount that isn't as easily traceable because players are dumb and make guys put millions of dollars on a bet that normally would never hit and then it hits? You know what I mean? Like, you don't think that these refs have stuff on the game? I think you're crazy if you think that. If you think these refs don't play fantasy football, I think you're crazy.
Are they?
I think they absolutely do.
Don't they get paid one of the worst? Don't they have one of the worst pay rates in football? And yes, they do way less games, but they have one of the worst pay rates out of any refs in any sport.
Well, they're also not full time. They all have jobs outside of the football season. It's the only sport where the officials aren't full-time employees of the league.
And Dave Lauren has a point. You can do a parlay. You don't have to. This can be centered around one part of one game, one piece of game. So it's very hard to track now with the way betting is.
Yeah. Look, there's a thing going on in the chat about how many times you're saying penis and dildo.
I said
I mean,
I did say penis one and dildo twice.
Okay. Now you've said them like
I
four
don't need
times,
you
'cause
to ask
said
me.
them
I
another
don't
4 or
need you.
5
I
times.
don't need you to ask me about my state of mind or my state of being. I am perfectly okay, sir. You are not going to be my psychologist. Do I need a psychologist? Maybe.
Michael
Are you going to be that person? No.
Before we get to our picks of the week, Michael McCormick says, "What's the path for the Bears over the next several weeks? Super Bowl picks." Path for the Bears is simple. Win this week and you secure the number 2 seed. Win next week, you secure the number 2 seed. So either just one win will secure you the 2 seed, and then if you win this week and the Seahawks lose, if you win any of the next 2 games and the Seahawks lose one, then you're the 1 seed. So
which is huge.
It's massive.
Then it comes through Chicago.
The other one, Super Bowl
the Seahawks
picks?
do not want to come to the Chicago. The Rams don't want to come to Chicago, even though the Rams run the ball pretty well. I don't know. I don't think any of those teams want to come through Chicago, especially with the way the Bears run the ball. The Bears are the best rushing team in the league. I think are the Niners a shade better now, or someone's a shade better now, but the Bears over the last 11, 12 weeks, in the first 4 or 5 weeks, they were not good at running the ball. They've been just dominant the last 12 weeks against some really good defenses.
Yeah. And as far as Super Bowl picks goes, Mike, this is what we call a tease. You have to come back in 2 weeks when we do our playoff predictions.
Yeah.
We do our playoff show.
We will have,
and then you'll find out
we got to see a bracket.
Yeah. We got to see who's playing who, all that stuff. But we'll do so come back in 2 weeks, Mike. Thanks for joining the show today. You ready to do our picks for the week?
Let's go.
All right. There's some games that really don't matter, that really don't care about, but we'll talk about those
go through those quickly.
We'll go through them very quickly. Let's start with the first one that nobody could care about: the Cardinals and the Bengals. The 3-12 Cardinals at the 5-10 Bengals. The Bengals are a 7-point favorite. Plain and simple, I don't trust this Bengals defense to cover 7 points if my life depended on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Cardinals +7.
Me too. Brissett's okay. Has been okay.
Yep. Steelers, Browns. This one's an interesting one because the Ravens won last night. If the Steelers win, they win the division. If the Browns win, next week's Steelers-Ravens game is for the division. I think the Browns win this one. So I'm going to take the Browns +3.5. I think the Browns find a way to beat the Steelers.
Seeing that I am going to be heavily rooting for the Browns because I still have a hatred for Aaron Rodgers. And
yeah,
I think there's people leaning on some scales for Pittsburgh Steelers sometimes in some of these games. I mean, that end of that Detroit game, I don't know how you could go out. But anyway, I'm going to take the Browns too.
I've seen a couple of people make the case for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers to win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl. Apparently, those people have never seen Aaron Rodgers in a conference championship game because it's usually not good. Another game nobody could care less about, unless you're a fan of either two team and you're waiting for them to lose because you want draft position. The Titans host the Saints. The Saints are a 1.5 point road favorite over the Titans. Give me the Titans +1.5. I think the Titans win this one.
I think the Saints win. I've hated the Titans all season. I'm not going to change course. They've given me no reason.
It's a game. Who cares? Jaguars and Colts. Jaguars try to seal up the AFC South. Actually, they can't seal up the AFC South. It's still going to come down to next week, but the Jaguars get to play the Titans. So Jaguars probably going to seal up the AFC South. They are a 3.5 point favorite at Indianapolis. Any chance Indianapolis upends the Jaguars season?
I don't think so.
Phillip Rivers.
After yelling at my big brother John last week about the Jaguars, I think I'm going to have to finally take them in a game this season. I'm sure I've taken them a couple of times, but haven't taken them a lot. I still don't trust this quarterback. He has thrown 11 picks this season, but I think they beat the Indianapolis Colts and put to bed the whole Phillip Rivers story.
And I mean, look, with no quarterback, I mean, they do have Phillip Rivers, but I mean, Jonathan Taylor has 1,489 yards rushing. I think he had 1,400 of those after week 8. And over the last month, it's just been really, really bad. I'll take the Jaguars as well. Bucks and Dolphins. This is a huge one for the Buccaneers. And the Dolphins want to play spoiler, but the Buccaneers need to win this game if they want to keep pace in case the Panthers win against the Seattle Seahawks. They have to win this game against the Dolphins, or they risk the chance of losing the division today if the Panthers beat the Seahawks. The Buccaneers are a 5.5-point favorite in Miami.
Yeah, I just don't know. There's a lot of turmoil in Miami, especially with 2-0 not playing there anymore. Miami's had kind of a decent season moving on from when they were, 1-5 or whatever they were earlier in the season. But I'm still going to take Tampa Bay. I'm sticking with my team. I'm sticking with my quarterback, or somewhat my quarterback. I'm going to take the Bucs.
The Buccaneers have not been good over the last 6 weeks. 1-5 in their last 6 games. The Dolphins cover plus 5.5. I'll take that. I think there is a slim chance the Dolphins find a way to win this football game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and maybe the Panthers win the division today. Let's go Patriots and the Jets. I laugh when I say the Jets because, God, man, it's got to suck. As much as it sucks for us to be Bears fans sometimes, it's really got to suck to be a Jets fan. The Patriots are a 12.5-point favorite at the Meadowlands. I mean, we're both Patriots, right?
Yeah, Patriots. Move on.
Same here. Patriots. All right, Seahawks, Panthers. This game, big one. Big one for the Bears, big one for the Seahawks, big one for the Panthers. Seahawks are a 6.5-point favorite in Carolina. I'm taking Carolina. I'm taking the 6.5 points.
Shocker.
I think Carolina could win this game outright. I think they could win the division today. I like the Panthers today. They are the last leg of a big parlay that I have too, that I bet underdogs this week. They are the last leg that I need. So come on, Panthers. But I do think that the Panthers can win this one in Carolina. They play well, and they've already beat the Rams in Carolina. So I think they can do it here.
Yeah, the Seahawks play a lot of close games. I mean, that's just another thing. At minus 6.5 away, not a lot of people have a lot of faith in your Carolina Panthers, but I think I'm still going to take the Panthers. I still think they might lose a tight game. I still think they got the better quarterback, but yeah, I think the Panthers definitely cover the spread. So
in the battle for the number 1 draft pick, Giants Raiders. No Max Crosby for the Raiders. Who the hell knows what's going on there? He leaves the facility. Then the Raiders come out saying that they think he's going to need knee surgery in the offseason. And then he posts videos on Twitter of him jumping on a trampoline saying that his knee is fine. It's bad in Vegas right now for Max Crosby. So Raiders, Giants. I'm going to take the Giants here. Giants are giving up 3 points. I'm going to take the Giants. I like Jackson Dart. I like what this team can be. I think this is the sexiest head coaching position out there. So I'm going to take the Giants to beat the Raiders.
I think I agree with that, especially with them probably getting the 2nd, 3rd pick in the draft. I'm going to take the Giants here too.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement.
All right, Eagles, Bills, big game for both of these teams too. Eagles want to get to the number 2 seed. That can't happen if they lose either of their last 2 games. And the Bills still have a chance to win the AFC East. Junior said earlier that it's over if the Patriots win today. It is not over if the Patriots win today. The Patriots have to win out or have Buffalo lose one of their last 2 because the Bills have the tiebreaker because they have the better conference record. So Eagles, Bills. Bills are a 3-point favorite in East Rutherford.
I'm going to take
Orchard Park.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills in this one.
Yeah, look, I just don't trust this Eagles offense. I don't know if they can score enough to keep up with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. So
Josh Allen, he's turning it on now.
Monday night, Rams, Falcons. Rams are a 7.5-point favorite. We're both on the Rams, right?
Yep.
All right. And then obviously Sunday night, the big one. Bears, 49ers.
Woo! We'll be doing the simulcast.
49ers are a 3.5-point favorite. we are going to be doing the simulcast. We are going to do a live watch party tonight for the Bears and 49ers, which for some inexplicable reason we haven't mentioned through the first hour of the show. But we will be live tonight to watch the Bears and 49ers with you guys. Who you got? Niners -3.5.
I think this could be an iffy matchup with this Bears defense with the 49ers. I think it's going to be tough. The 49ers have not punted.
I love when you pick against the Bears.
Have not punted since November. I am not going to pick against the Bears, though. They've made me a believer. And I think especially, I think the Bears offense can keep this game tight. I think you got to run the ball. The 49ers have their defense has stiffened up a little bit against the run, but they are not a good run defense. They've given up big yardage on runs. They've given up over 5 yards a carry for most of the season. They did stiffen up against the Colts a couple of weeks ago, but I think the Bears have to run all over them in this game. I think the Bears should try to have the ball for 33 to 35 minutes. If they do, they win this game, and I think they do.
The Niners haven't punted since the Panthers game in November. Opponents since then, the Browns, the Titans, and the Colts. True. Come on, guy. Look, the hook makes a difference because if the Bears do lose this game, I think it'll be a tight 2 or 3 point game.
A turnover is better than a punt. And
I think the plus 3.5
throwing it to the wrong players a lot.
Yeah, a lot. 7 games, 8 turnovers, 8 interceptions. I think the Bears keep this game close, so the 3.5 means a big difference, especially in the betting world. That hook is a big difference. I will take the Bears as well, plus 3.5.
Going to be a fun
there you
night
have it. There's our picks. I mean, fade, follow, do whatever the hell you guys want. I win a lot, though.
I don't know if anybody remembers this out there, but the last simulcast we did did not go so well. It was against the Arizona Cardinals. I think it was like
Matt Eberflus was the head coach.
It was like week 8 or 9 last season. It was supposed to be that we thought the Bears would win it easily. Trey Benson and a couple other running backs over there. Trey Benson was hurt most of the year. He was in my fantasy league, jerk off. Anyway, they ran all over the Bears. Trey Benson had a big run at the end of half. I think it was Trey Benson against the Bears, and it was just ugly. It was an ugly game. I don't think we're going to have the same tonight. It's going to be a fun
moment in the season last year where I was like, this is going to be really bad.
Oh, yeah. The Bears would go on to lose, I think, another 8 games in a row after that.
We were right. Yeah. So, all right, man. You ready to get out of here?
Yes.
All right. We will see you guys tonight. For those that want to join us for Bears versus 49ers, maybe a chance at the number 1 seed. We'll see what happens. I got Carolina and Seattle on my TV screen right now. I am going to be intently watching that game.
Oh, yeah.
And, at the very worst, the Bears could clinch a 2 seed with a win tonight against the San Francisco 49ers. Either way, should be a good game. 2 11-4 teams going at it in San Francisco. Can't wait. We will see you guys tonight for kickoff. Till then, till next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. Peace.